Today on the Morning Edition, 8 lives lost when a charter plane goes down in remote western Alaska. We'll show you the area where it crashed and what investigators are doing now to learn what went wrong. Plus,
said, oh, there's a bear, stood there, thought, okay, what are my steps for a bear?
that was the first thought a Kodiak woman had when her casual walk turned into a fight for survival. How her dog jumped into action and what she says saved her from the 800-pound brown bear. And later, all aboard the pup bus, meet the couple turning their grief over a lost dog into the cutest commute in town as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Friday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. I want to take a ride on the pup bus.
Sorry, only puppies allowed.
Aw.
So you have to be the driver.
It must be like heaven being surrounded by all those pups.
I mean, they're probably friends that they get to meet daily if they go on the pup bus. I mean, love people's putting back into the community and doing all those little cool things. We are waking up this morning. We've got some ongoing light rain showers across parts of South Central. We are watching that potential later this afternoon that we could see some sunshine breaks across parts of the region. It's not guaranteed for everyone, but we will be watching that across South Central. We are waking up to some localized areas of fog as you head out towards Palmer. You can see towards the Kodiak River Bridge. We're beginning to see some of that the lowering visibility, and of course many areas continue to remain up under those mostly cloudy to overcast skies. Not a bad start to the morning temperature-wise as we continue to hold in the 50s for much of the state. And while we are sitting up under mostly cloudy to overcast conditions, we got some cloud breaks as you head from Wasilla to Talkeetna, and then some sunshine out towards Golcana. But we're still keeping with some rain showers for your Friday. Much like we saw yesterday, the vast majority of today will be on the drier side, but we still can't rule out some of those light showers that will stay with us as we head throughout the day. And you can see this morning it's kind of isolated to scattered in nature, nothing really organized across South Central. We've been seeing some of that light rain through the overnight hours lifting north into the Susitna Valley. That continues to kind of fall apart, and you can see even more of those rain showers moving in over the Alaska Range north into the interior. So we've got some wet conditions across the state. We're also watching this weekend where even wetter weather will be possible. Heading to the Alaska State Fair for the opening today at 11 a.m. You can see those temperatures holding in the upper 50s. We do warm into the lower 60s today. Calling it partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies for Palmer because we could hold on to those cloudy conditions for the vast majority of the day across parts of the valley. But wet Saturday is looking likely as we welcome in the weekend. I'll break that down for you as well as a look at that 7-day forecast for you coming up.
All 8 people on board a charter plane that crashed into remote western Alaska are confirmed dead. And this morning, investigators are working in extremely rugged terrain to find out what went wrong. The NTSB confirmed the plane, a twin-engine Cessna operated by Security Aviation, was on a charter flight from Anchorage to the Cape Newenham long-range radar site Thursday when it went down on land near the Air Force airstrip, about 450 miles west of Anchorage. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says the flight was chartered by the agency and confirms 2 of its employees were among the 8 killed. Now, while we don't know the flight number at this time, this is a look at the flight path of the exact same type of aircraft coming from Anchorage that ended its route at 11 a.m. Thursday near Cape Newenham. We do know 2 pilots and 6 passengers were killed. That's according to the NTSB. This is the location here of the Cape Newenham airstrip where the NTSB's Clint Johnson says that plane was routed to land. It's about 40 miles south of Good News Bay. Johnson says the plane went down near the airport. And again, we still don't know what caused this crash, but this is a look at the weather conditions they were dealing with in the area yesterday. As you can see, there was quite a bit of cloud cover. This airstrip is there to provide access to an Air Force long-range radar station. There's also a wildlife sanctuary nearby. We went to Security Aviation in Anchorage Thursday evening. Someone came out to speak with us. He said they were still gathering information and declined to say any more. Alaska State Troopers, the NTSB, the Alaska Rescue Coordination Center, and the Alaska Air National Guard all responded after an alert from the FAA. Now, in a statement, U.S. Air Force Lieutenant General Robert Davis, commander of Alaskan Command, called it a, quote, devastating loss for our military family and the communities we serve. Senator Lisa Murkowski and Representative Nick Begich both offered condolences, asking Alaskans to pray for the victims' families and the security aviation community. You can find their full statements on our website. Kicking an 800-pound grizzly bear in the face is not an everyday survival strategy, but one Kodiak woman says instincts and her heroic dog made it possible. Johnson Kuhn shares how a woman used her own training to survive a mauling.
Said, oh, there's a bear, stood there, thought, okay, what are my steps for a bear?
Caitlin Lane describing the moment her routine stroll next to a Kodiak salmon stream with canine companion Vesper quickly turned terrorizing on Tuesday when she came face to face with an 800-pound bear and her cubs. Lane had no deterrence and tried standing her ground before desperately scrambling up a vertical hill to escape. But the bear clawed at her legs until Vesper came to her rescue, diverting the sow's attention just long enough for Lane to reposition. Living out a real-life nightmare on her back, Lane faced the bear head-on and delivered a defensive kick directly to its face as it bit her leg.
Thinking back on it now, I have done a small amount of jiu-jitsu training, actually. And that position that I was in is exactly how you would create space in jiu-jitsu, right? You use one leg to kind of block and you kick with the other leg.
Lane's father watched the entire encounter unfold live on FaceTime from Oregon, unable to intervene as he heard his daughter screaming for her life.
We were both in awe initially of what had just happened and didn't really know how to put it into words, but we're trying to run it all back.
The dramatic sprint to safety, she says, was powered entirely by Vesper's quick thinking on the roadway.
Vesper, happy birthday.
Just one day after celebrating the pup's birthday.
The moment I knew Vesper was helping me was when she turned back and tried to go after him, which allowed me to turn around and face her. Yeah, those couple of seconds where she was distracted was what I would say saved me.
Despite the injuries, bruising, and drama, Lane says she bears no ill will toward the bear, recognizing that in Alaska, recreation and wildlife run on the same frontier pathway.
It's the Alaska frontier, right? You come here for the beauty and the nature, but the beauty and the nature are here, and you got to know how to handle it.
Johnson Kuhn, Alaska's news source.
Lane escaped with deep bruising and minor scratches. She says she recently ordered bear bells for herself and Vesper to prepare for their next walk. You can get the full interview on our In-Depth Alaska podcast or watch it on our streaming platforms. Ferry service in and out of Skagway is on hold right now as the state makes emergency repairs to the ferry terminal. Underwater inspections found damage to the float and anchor chain system, so crews are now making those repairs. There's no reopening date yet. The Alaska Marine Highway System says it will post updates online, and while the terminal is closed to vehicles and state ferries, private passenger operators are running extra trips to help people get in and out of town. State officials are calling Alaska's gas supply a big problem. This as they confront growing cold weather fuel concerns and demanding immediate action to protect your power. Political reporter Will Courtney has this story.
I would say from the department's perspective, we do have a problem.
With dwindling gas supply in Cook Inlet, lawmakers heard from the private sector and the administration on Thursday over what the state's energy future looks like.
NSTAR is 18 days short of gas.
That's John Sims. He's the president of one of Alaska's oldest energy companies, and now he's worried about brownouts.
If the temperature is warm, it will look like I am fear-mongering and I'm crying wolf. If it is cold, we'll all experience the cautions and the concern that the utility has.
There are solutions, ones lawmakers are now stepping in to help mitigate.
We've got to worry about what we're going to do for that 18 days without gas, what we're going to do about the lack of gas in the future.
I think one thing we need to see closer collaboration between Chugach Electric and NSTAR. I know that Chugach Electric has expressed that they want to do so.
In an email from Chugach, they said they offered to help NSTAR over the past year, but now encourages immediate action to avoid impacts on their own customers. Now, those are just the short-term solutions to Alaska's energy shortages, but when it comes to long-term, a familiar topic returns.
So my takeaway, let's build a gas line.
We are still working with Glenfarne on developing a LNG import project with the hopes that that transitions over to the pipeline. It is the best long-term solution, and again, the only one that has the potential to reduce the price of energy.
The LNG pipeline is in limbo once again, as a property tax exemption bill developers say is essential to creating the line struggles to reach consensus in the legislature. Will Courtney, Alaska's news source.
Senator Kathy Giessel says the committee will continue taking on the issue, and its next hearing is in September. A section of trails at the University of Alaska Fairbanks has reopened after being closed in early July for goshawk attacks, which biologists say were nesting related. Fish and Game now believes the young birds have left the nest, so the North Campus trails are back open. Runners now have a full month to train on those trails before the Equinox Marathon on September 19th. While the trails remain open for the time being, goshawks are known to return to the same nesting areas each year.
Advantage. I'm Danny Tompkins with how just 3 meals a week at school can boost learning, and meet the chef behind ASD's new Real Food, Real People approach.
And some sunshine possible later today across parts of South Central, but we're still keeping with some rain showers. I'll have more on that. A wet Saturday to be expected. But first at sunrise, 6:24 in Anchorage, 5:41 in Kodiak. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back in on this Friday morning, and it is a wet one, Aaron. You can see all of that cloud cover over Midtown.
Yeah, but we're trying to see some of those clouds break, so that may bring us some sunshine later this afternoon if you are heading to Palmer for the Alaska State Fair. But we're waking up this morning. We do have some localized areas of fog across South Central, which is leading to the potential. Looks like we just lost that camera there, which is leading to the potential for some lowering visibility. One thing we are watching, though, when it comes to those visibility concerns is portions of the Cook Inlet region where we're seeing that visibility down to about 2 miles, if not less. Not everyone is seeing fog this morning. You can see out towards Kenai as you head through eastern parts of Prince William Sound down towards Seward. So it's kind of hit or miss when it comes to those patchy fog that we are seeing to start off your Friday morning. So just take it easy on those roadways, particularly out towards the Matanuska or the Kodiak River Bridge, where we are seeing some of that fog beginning to settle in out towards Palmer. 40s and 50s to wake up this morning across the state. We are watching a chance that we could see some areas of wintry mix later today into the night as you head along the slope. And we've also got more rain that's going to build in across southeast. And as we've been talking about, some much needed rain. Juneau has just seen under 6 inches of precipitation since June 1st, which is a far cry from what they typically see, as the Panhandle is a rainforest. So we tend to see 100 to 200 inches of precipitation a year. And so it has been a fairly dry summer. We're still holding on to some rain showers across South Central. Notice that activity kind of winds down later this afternoon into the evening. That's where we'll try to catch some sunshine breaks. So if you are heading to the Alaska State Fair later this afternoon, you may catch some of that sunshine. You certainly want to enjoy it because as we welcome in the overnight hours on into tomorrow, notice by 7:30 tomorrow morning, we'll begin to see the leading edge of that rain moving in over the Alaska range, and then that will spread eastward across South Central. And we're going to see a wet Saturday. So if you're heading to the Alaska State Fair this weekend or for tomorrow, be prepared. It's going to be wet for most, if not all day long, as you head into your Saturday. The good news is by Saturday night on into Sunday, we are going to see some drier conditions make a return to South Central. We'll catch a break. Sunday may actually provide some sunshine potential, and then we'll see more rain chances increasing as we welcome in the middle of next week. So just some light activity, lingering activity expected today out near the coast and the foothills of the Talkeetna Mountains. And then there it is as we welcome in Saturday. You can see that widespread rain building in across South Central. And we are on track for some of the heaviest rain out towards coastal areas, the foothills of the Talkeetna Mountains. But still, from western parts of the Kenai north into Anchorage and lower parts of the valley, we're still on track for seeing upwards of half an inch of rain, if not some higher amounts. So you can see that rain increasing for Anchorage into your Saturday. Higher amounts, though, expected into Talkeetna. Notice that bump up as we head into the overnight hours. We're also going to see that out towards Seward. So the overall trend is rain showers tapering off today and then picking right back up as we welcome in your Saturday. We got those temperatures today topping out in the upper 50s and the lower 60s. That 7-day forecast showing there's that rain into your Saturday. Not as wet next week, Kristen, but we are going to still see that chance for at least some showers into early next week.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Your kids' lunch may start to look a little different this year. The Anchorage School District is on a mission to make sure nutrition is a priority for students. Danny Tompkins joins us now with more on the new ASD service model.
Good morning, Kristen. I got a look inside the ASD Student Nutrition Center to see how they serve 20,000 meals a day. Organizers say that this operation has transformed over the past few years. Whoa, that smells really good. The sweet aroma of food fills the ASD Student Nutrition Center. If your child eats school lunch just 3 days a week,
improves academic outcomes as if they've attended school 2.5 months more.
that's the mission driving executive chef Daniel Smith.
Thinking like a child is really where the success is going to come from. Thinking what children like, thinking what they don't like, thinking what they're not exposed to.
For him, food is creativity.
Are you into art?
Yeah.
So that's how I cook, right? So a lot of people see colors in art. That's how I see food. I see color palettes. I see sounds, if that makes sense.
And it's working.
And students are eating more. In fact, they're eating 30% more of the entree and 30% more of the vegetable because of this new service model.
A model where students serve themselves.
Make sure you help yourself to vegetables or fruit. You can help yourself, Matthew.
This year, all 57 elementary schools are on board, accomplished by a full fleet of helpers. Over the course of a few days, they will receive about 800 pounds of peppers like these. And these will then be cut and sliced to become meals. And the district says they serve about 20,000 meals every single day, with one goal in mind.
Excitement. We want anticipation. We want them to look forward to choosing us every day. And what I really want our families to know is that it's real food that we're serving by real people.
The district added that if parents are in need of a lower cost lunch option, they can visit the Anchorage School District website for the application. Kristen.
All right, thanks, Danny. OpenAI is introducing a new version of ChatGPT designed for teens. The company says the platform aimed at young people ages 13 to 17 comes with stronger content protections against self-harm and sexual chats.
So I think it's important to note that this is not entirely new. OpenAI did last year roll out a bunch of, a new teen version of ChatGPT with additional safety protections. So this kind of builds on this. And that was a response to a lot of the teen suicides that we saw associated with ChatGPT 4.0. So this version is more designed to help teens learn and think critically rather than just asking it for answers to questions.
OpenAI says there will be new learning tools designed to help students with homework and studying without getting straight to the solutions. Florida became the first state to file a lawsuit against OpenAI in June, alleging that ChatGPT endangers children and the company prioritized profit over public safety. The Borealis Theater at the Alaska State Fair is getting a major update next year. These are clips from last year's fair. Fair officials announcing on Facebook that the iconic concert venue will be increasing its seating from 5,200 to 6,500. They say they will also be increasing the size of the stage, redesigning the lawn area, and adding more bathrooms. Construction is set to begin right after this year's fair and is expected to be done by next year. The Alaska State Fair kicks off today and it runs through September 7th.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.